Good morning, hope you're all doing well. It's time to give the Commando some TLC, some tender, loving care. As you've probably heard while I've been riding the bike during these past few months, there are a few little rattles and shakes and little jobs that need to be done. And so finally got the Triumph off the bench, as you may have seen on some of the recent videos. And now the Norton's back up on the bench for a little bit of care. So I've got my clipboard ready and I'm just going to do a visual inspection first of all, just starting at the front, going to the rear of the bike, and then I'll probably give it a clean. Just the process of cleaning the bike can often expose and highlight some of the problems and jobs that need to be done on the bike. Well, it took a few hours to clean the bike. I went from the front to the back, gave it a thorough clean and then a bit of a polish, as you can see. Very happy with it. I don't think it's ever looked as shiny. I hope our dear friend would have approved of this, Dennis. He was a true master at detailing and we still think about you, and you've given us the drive and the impetus to get our bikes nice and clean and shiny. We miss you, Dennis. Here are some of the products that I use. I'm not affiliated in any way with these products, but they worked really well with the cleaning and the polishing of the bike. No surprises as I went from the end to end. There was just one bolt here that was loose and that was about it. Mostly just really oily. And so what I'm going to do is as I go through this maintenance procedure, I'm going to try and tighten up on all the spots where oil has been leaking or spraying mist onto the rest of the bike as well. So that'll be a main focus area as I work on these maintenance jobs. And then as I go through the clipboard, I've categorized everything on the list into 3 classifications. The first one is safety first. The second one is general maintenance, and then the third one is nice to have. So I'll be working on the safety first items first, just to make sure that the bike is safe and roadworthy. And we're going to start off by replacing the rear tyre. It's got a little bulge. This is a standard setup for a Commando, and so it's got what they call a stub axle that holds on this rear brake plate and the rear brake and the chain, so that you can actually detach the wheel without having to remove all of this. However, in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm renewing the chain because it's looking a little worn, and I'm also going to renew the shoes as well on the rear brake. So I'm taking all this off, and then also we'll get a brand new tyre on this wheel. this opportunity to give it a clean under here as well. I never got to this, or couldn't reach it. Here's the rear brake drum and sprocket that I've taken off the bike and I've given it a good clean. I'm just going to have a look at the brake shoes. It works okay, this brake, but I think what I might do is get the shoes redone because they're pretty old here. Yeah, there's plenty of material still on them, but they're a little glazed. I'll see what I can do to actually clean those up, or maybe even get them relined. Then this is that stub axle as well, so for all you Norton guys out there, you know this already, but this main axle detaches from the stub axle there like that, and then that's the stub axle in here that's held captive inside the brake drum, and this allows you to keep the rear brake drum and sprocket on the bike when you remove the rear wheel. I believe this is a special feature of the MK2A model in that it's got this little grommet here, rubber grommet plug I guess, that allows you to see the wear on the brake shoes inside. I don't know if you can see that. I just got my rear brake drum back from a place here in northeast Portland. It's a company called Fleet Pride. It used to be called OTS, and they're an automotive specialist. I believe they do lots of truck brake linings, and they've relined my rear brakes, my brake shoes, and they've done an excellent job. There's the finish now. They've matched it to the drum, and they've done an excellent job. I'm real pleased with that. I'm not sure what this coating is here, if it's a paint or something. I'd appreciate any advice on what this brown colour is here. But no, terrific job all round. So I'll put this back on the bike now. Great, so now that the rear brake drum and sprocket are attached to the bike again, I can replace the chain. I've just got this cloth here to stop the frame from getting scratched. All I'm going to do is just feed the chain over the sprocket and attach the new chain, and then feed it around the main sprocket, and that will be the new chain fitted. So it'll hold and not pull back. There we go. Okay, I just got my tyre back from our local Triumph dealer, Cascade Moto, here in Beaverton, Oregon. And I've gone for the Avon Road Riders again. I like these very much. This is the Mark II, the newer version. And I had the tyre fitted and the wheel balanced. Just a little fiddly, but we've got it. It's always a bit tricky to locate this gear drive for the speedo, but I think I got it. It's engaged now. And then just to fit the spacer again, this is a little tricky. I got it. Okay, now to try and line it up, start by just putting the axle in. Whoop. Whoop. This is one of the big drawbacks of the stub axle when you're putting this back in, this main axle back in, is you absolutely need to be very careful that you don't strip the threads as you engage it with this stub axle. It's always a little tricky, that. Good. By way of an initial adjustment of the rear chain and the wheel and the alignment of the wheel, what I like to do is just screw the adjuster all the way in so that the flats are as tight as they can be together on both sides. I draw a little line here like this, and then I just unscrew the adjuster so that it comes up to the axle on both sides, and do them both at the same time, a flat at a time if you like, or a complete turn at a time. And so that should at least be a good starting point for the measurement to make sure that the wheel is aligned on both sides. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then fine tune from here. 1, 2, 3.